First year the restaurant awards, that would have been in our office. We were located in City Square at that time. The whole thing took about, I don't know, 45 minutes.
25 years ago, we were in a boardroom, maybe 25 people. There was maybe best French, best Italian, best Asian maybe, or Chinese, but that was about it. There was maybe one glass of wine per person. There was maybe part of Vancouver magazine. There was maybe 3 or 4 people. Say, hello, Michel, congratulations, thank you, bye.
The whole thing went over in a flash, and that was it. Michel Jacob was there. Umberto would have been there. Umberto is the guy who, just around the same time, published this here book, spiral-bound book. He wrote in this one, to Mac, happy cooking, fuck you, Umberto.
Certainly in the 80s and going into the 90s, most of the high-end dining in Vancouver was probably in places that were run by European trained chefs, entrepreneurs. They were restaurateurs in the old tradition. By the time the 90s came along, I think we were building a new generation of people in the restaurant industry, chefs, producers, people who were of in British Columbia.
25 years ago, it was easy for Vancouver magazine. You had 2 or 3 judges. There was maybe 20 restaurants you had to judge. Now they judge 200 restaurants.
As the years would go along, they would grow, and then there'd be lots of discussion about what are we doing? How are we going to get into these awards a little more seriously, in a bigger way? When we separated the drinking from the serious award aspect of it, I think that's when it became more sophisticated.
When we opened, there were chefs who were still in kindergarten, who had no clue they become chef. And now they are top-notch chefs in Vancouver. There's so much competition. My only little fear a bit about Vancouver is, there are lots of new restaurants, 35, 40 seats, but the rents are so expensive now in Vancouver that all those young chefs with talent, if you don't have a big backup, big money behind them, there's no way they can open a restaurant downtown Vancouver. The rent is too much. We could not open anymore Le Crocodile in 2015. We way too much money.
Walk through Gastown, walk in Main Street, you find a heck of a lot of restaurants where, it's where the prices are just unbelievable. You can get a heck of a meal for well under 20 bucks.
You watch how it's evolved, and you realize we are much more of a city now in that regard.
That's a whole difference. It used to be you go into a joint, you got a steak and a potato or something. Now, you can really get first-class meals served unpretentiously by really intelligent people. It's great.
I have to say that if you had told me that there are going to be today about 600 people to come to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Vancouver magazine, I would have said no way.
But I think the importance of it is it brings the community together, and the community really needs to stick together, and having this ritual should unite us, and we should keep working towards that.